Football 101 with Coach Bret Bielema. Brought to you by Carl, the official health provider of Fighting Illini Athletics.
Welcome back to Football 101. Martin O'Donnell joined, as always, by Coach Bret Bielema. And, Coach, we're back in the film room.
Yeah.
Going to grind on it a little bit. What do we got?
Well, two series, one offensive, one defensive. This is actually 3:16 in the second quarter, so not quite 2 minutes, but we had talked about it going out on the field. Obviously, Nebraska got 17 points on the board. We've been sitting at 0, so we really felt we wanted to get something going into halftime, right? Yeah. So talked about playing with some tempo, so we're getting a basic personnel grouping for us, 11 personnel, and we're taking over the ball here on the minus 24-yard line and really isolation to Casey into the boundary here. Casey and Luke, all really since last spring to where we are right now, have had a special connection. This is kind of a back shoulder fade, right? And what's unique about this is this catch, right? Obviously a great catch, execution. It gains 20 yards, right? And for us on the year, if we have a drive or a drive that contains a 15-yard gain, we've scored 17 of 18 snaps or 17 of 18 opportunities. So that's kind of the magic number. I literally said on the sideline, okay, good start, right? Then we obviously get to a third down situation. Same personnel grouping, except for now it's 11 with Griffin Moore, who kind of is a tight end that we've used in that role a little bit more. From an offensive line standpoint, we're basically living in 5- and 6-man protections, right? They're basically running some spot drops here on a 3-by-1, and you get outbreaking routes here, which allows the 3rd and 5 completion to Griffin Moore, and really good awareness here. You see the stick right at the 46-yard line. He does a great job of understanding where he's at, and then he lunges forward and gets a first down.
Yeah, big play, obviously catching. You got to run the route at the right depth, but then also knowing where that is and making sure you get it.
100%, and then, I think when we're able to protect, here's a really good look. They're obviously dropping out, which brings it, but this is a 4-man rush, right? So we got a 4-man rush with a 6-man protection. Do a nice job of doing it. Now allows Luke to step up in the pocket, deliver a strike, and got a good situation. So it gives us a first down really about midfield here, about the plus 46, or it's a minute 50 left and a half. And again, get a situation where, right, we're in 11 personnel. We call this a 10 look, right? So it's like 4 wide receivers. But what they do is they're basically going across man, right? Here's a safety that could run to the middle post, but he's actually got the attention of the back. You'll see him begin to react out of it. Creates a one-on-one here. Again, just a really good job of Luke with good protection. There's the pocket we like to see. Steps up into it, throws the ball. Really good job by Pat Bryant getting the ball on the outside shoulder and does a great job of finishing, battling off, and getting it in the end zone.
Yeah, hand fighting all the way down. And that was great to see after the Purdue game, too. Had one go off his fingertips, but come back the next week and make a huge play.
We had to, take advantage of these shots. They're going to give us these. A lot of times these safeties are involved in doubling on Isaiah. Isaiah draws a lot of coverage. But, again, if we're able to get some consistent protection here, we got beat on the inside move here by Julian, but these 5 guys, if we can give them just an opportunity to launch and be able to execute, this is what makes our offense go, right? And
no, sorry. And if we can go back real quick, Isaiah Adams is starting to play some good football at right tackle. I mean, that's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand is the difference between guard and tackle. I mean, sometimes it's night and day, but I love the set he has here, balanced, force him to the outside, and then getting his hands on him.
It's just another really good example. He's obviously 2-3 weeks ago starting his first game at right tackle, but he used to play this position, right? So the difference between this set and this set is quite a bit different, right? And it takes time, right, to get it, right? And overall, if we can, I think we'll get Zy back this week. I think we'll get Geske. Hunter had a decent game. Jordan did some good things, right? But we'll get a little bit. Now we get Des Schuster coming back. We should begin to shore this offensive lineup, which should help our offense in general. This next one is we're taking a look at the defense, right? So it's a 20-7 game. Obviously, we scored. It's midway through the third quarter, and we told our defense, listen, they can't have another score, right? It's a 2-score game. It's a 13-point differential, so it's a 2-score game, and we need to make this happen, right? So this comes in an incredibly tough spot. This is after a block punt when Hugh got outside the shield. They blocked it, give them the ball now on the 22-yard line. Just said we can't have it happen, right? So this is a little something you don't see much anymore, a 2-back run, right? Got a little over formation, got heavy. This is a two tight ends here. This is an extra lineman in the game, all right? So it's kind of 5 offensive linemen plus a center, so it's actually 6 O-linemen. He's acting as a tight end. He's ineligible because he's covered up, but a 2 tight end, 2 back. So something you don't see all the time, but I thought this is another example. Nicario Harper, who's really just kind of come in here in the last 3 weeks, finds his way, reads his keys, reacts, and delivers, and we stop this no gain. So it's a 1st and 10, 0 gain. Now we're looking at 2nd and 10. They kind of stay in the same world, right? They're in an over formation, got bigs up here, but ends up being an overset to the field, short side here to the boundary. Really good job of guys staying home. So there's a little, their quarterback, they like to run on option, and this ends up being a follow play. Really good job by our defense, recognizing, minimizing the space. They'd literally put this in for this game, new play. 2 things happen. I like Seth, he got to create an edge. You see him get underneath the pad level, see him lock that out, constricts this distance. Right now it allows Miles, and then this is a great play by Dylan Rosiak, who he's responsible for the backside A, but now you'll see him quickly come across. Can't account for him, he's in there on the play, right? So puts him into a 3rd and manageable. I believe it's a 3rd and 6, right? So it's 3rd and 6 plus 18. Again, where we are in the game, we're just like, we can't allow any more points. So we get into 3rd and 6 here. This ends up being basically in one of our favorite fronts, right? It ends up being a 5-down look where you're going to get 5-0 across the board here with the O-line. We basically end up rushing 4, all right, which puts some good pressure here at the last minute. You see Johnny and Keith putting some good pressure on him, which makes him throws a little bit high, gets a hand on the ball, and then this is the tip ball that one of these days this is going to start coming in our hands, right? It just falls short, right? A couple guys breaking on it, but
We're due. We're due.
We're due in many different regards. You can't wait for breaks, but they're going to come. They're just the way the game kind of plays out. Really good move. Look at Johnny right here.
Yeah, his hands are just so good.
You know, I think he leads the nation in the defensive tackle, quarterback pressures by 4, right? More than anybody else. And this is it right here. This is what the NFL gets excited about. He gets one-on-one, does a high handover, literally affects this quarterback, gets rid of it just a little bit. I'd love for him to get a reach on that ball, but this is pretty good. Gabe Akis, too, doing some good hand moving, crushing that pocket down inside. Then just outside of the reach, I think he got a little quick to pull his hands down here. Felt that little pressure from Kanena. Now the ball's just if we could just float it a second longer.
We're due. But that's, I mean, just watching Johnny and Keith does a great job of this too, but, you know, they work edge to edge, right? Because an offensive lineman always wants, you know, you make their life easy when you rush down the middle
100%.
of them. But you see Johnny there, starts on the outside, gets him going inside, then back, and he's just such a great athlete.
Yeah, and, you know, defensively, one of the things we have with these overhang players, they never know who's coming and going, right? So Seth is popping out here because of zone coverage. This now creates a 4th man rush. Gabe, who literally 2 plays before this had dropped out, now he becomes a rusher. So there's a 4-man rush, all right, which is important, right, because now they got to consume all 5 of those blockers. All right, he gets a late checkout, but this is Gabe pressing it. It creates a lot of one-on-ones. You hear coaches when they're talking about playing their defensive front, it's going to create a lot of one-on-one blocks, and this is the kind of stuff that we just got to be able to excel from, and then that hopefully create situations where we get some tip balls, opportunities, and, you know, we're a 2-4 football team. Don't love where we're at, but I love the fact that these guys keep sawing wood. We're going to keep working. We got a great opportunity this week to play at Maryland in a system that runs a lot of passes. Quarterback's a very live player. I'm excited to see our growth this week.
Yeah, should be a good one on Saturday, no doubt. Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and thank you for stopping by Football 101.
Football 101 with Coach Bret Bielema. Brought to you by Carl, the official health provider of Fighting Illini Athletics.